You pour your youth, your energy, and your entire future into building someone else's life. You work until your body breaks so they can succeed. And the moment you are no longer useful to them, they throw you out. This diagram illustrates an asymmetric investment. In family dynamics, we rarely think of love as a balance sheet, but that is exactly what a farmer named Gopal built with his younger brother, Raghunath. Gopal provided a steady flow of capital, his labor, his time, and his health, directed entirely at his brother's potential. Over decades, the inputs are staggering. Gopal endured grueling physical labor, went to bed hungry, and wore rags. He extracted zero personal gain from his own work, funneling every drop of surplus energy into paying for Raghunath's education. Slowly, the originating node withers. The investment pays off. Raghunath graduates, secures a highly respected teaching job, and builds a comfortable, stable family life. The unspoken social contract here is straightforward. The brother who received everything will eventually provide security and shelter for the brother who gave everything. But Raghunath audits his life and decides his aging brother and 2 young nieces are depreciating assets. They are financial burdens eating into his family's margins. He severs the connection and evicts them from the very house Gopal helped secure. When the bonds of a family are reduced to a ruthless balance sheet, the one who gave freely without keeping score is left entirely bankrupt. Gopal, along with his young daughters Neelam and Rupa, are forced to pack up a single bundle of belongings and leave. Their destination is a ruined, abandoned hut high in the mountains, miles away from anyone else. Out here, they face immediate physical threats. The dilapidated structure offers almost no protection from the cold mountain winds, and they are surrounded by thick forests where wild animals roam at night. They are entirely cut off from the safety net of a community. Yet there is a quieter, far more dangerous threat lurking in that cabin. Gopal has every reason to succumb to complete bitterness. The temptation to let his brother's betrayal poison his mind and to pass that deep-seated resentment onto his daughters is overwhelming. A shattered roof can be patched with branches. The true danger of a deep betrayal is the risk of losing your own humanity to resentment. Sitting in that mountain hut, Gopal makes a conscious decision. He refuses to spend his remaining energy seeking revenge or wallowing in despair. Instead, he initiates a second, entirely different kind of investment. He focuses his attention on his daughters, Neelam and Rupa. He pours his time into cultivating their emotional resilience and moral character. He teaches them to help each other, to work hard, and to reject hatred. This split-screen model illustrates the shift. On one side, we have his past approach, a purely material investment in his brother, which resulted in a broken, dead-end connection. On the other side is his new strategy, an ethical investment in his children, creating a self-sustaining feedback loop of shared values and mutual support. But philosophical values are theoretical until they are subjected to an altruistic stress test. It is easy to be generous when your own needs are met. The real metric of character is how you act under the crushing weight of poverty. That test arrives when young Rupa is trekking back from a distant waterfall, exhausted and carrying a heavy jug of water. She spots an elderly woman sitting by the rocks, stranded and thirsty. Without a second thought, Rupa offers the woman her own limited, hard-earned water. True character is never formed in comfort. It is proven in the exact moment you offer compassion to a stranger, even when you are the one who desperately needs a lifeline. That elderly woman was the mother of Virendra, a highly respected and wealthy merchant who owns the land they were standing on. When the mother returns home and shares the story, her family is stunned. In a commercial world driven strictly by transactional relationships and calculated favors, they are moved by a child who asked for absolutely nothing in return. Virendra hikes up to the mountain hut with a proposal. Recognizing Rupa's potential, he offers to move her into town and fully fund her education. This intervention serves as the tangible dividend on Gopal's ethical investment. By teaching his daughters to prioritize kindness during extreme scarcity, he inadvertently prepared them for the one encounter capable of pulling them out of the mountains. Rupa's act of selflessness, performed without any expectation of reward, triggered a sequence of events that replaced their isolation with a path to professional stability. Years pass. Rupa lives with Virendra's family, pouring an intense, unrelenting focus into her studies. every late night of reading is driven by the memory of her father carrying that single bundle of belongings up the mountain. She achieves her father's dream. Rupa passes her exams, secures a position as a respected teacher, and moves her father and sister into a beautiful new home. Look at the symmetry here. Rupa and her uncle have achieved the exact same professional title, the same job security, and the same societal status. If we look at this branching logic path mapping their careers, the endpoints appear identical. But the foundations beneath them are vastly different. Raghunath built his success on an isolated pillar of exploitation and betrayal, leaving him entirely alone at the top. Rupa built hers on a wide, solid network of integrity and community support. Material success can be achieved through ruthlessness in the short term, but enduring success requires the structural integrity of an uncompromised soul. Eventually, news of Rupa's success reaches Raghunath. Broken by years of quiet guilt, he travels to her new home, stands at the doorway, and begs his brother and niece for forgiveness. The power dynamics have completely inverted. The family he once discarded as worthless financial burdens now holds moral and social authority over him. Gopal and Rupa listen to his apologies. Rather than seeking retribution, they refuse to harbor hatred. They look at the man who ruined their lives and freely grant him forgiveness, clearing their own consciences in the process. But they draw a very clear line. Forgiveness is a gift freely given to heal the soul. Trust, however, is a transactional metric. Raghunath deliberately destroyed that metric, and they make it clear that his balance remains at zero. You cannot control the betrayals you suffer at the hands of the people you trust most, but by prioritizing unstealable assets like education, resilience, and character, you ensure your ultimate legacy is built on bedrock, immune to the selfishness of others.